again. Welcome to another episode of David Rides a Trike. I'm David. I'm riding a trike. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I try to provide a little motivation to people to get up, go out and do something fun that will make them feel better, specifically people suffering from chronic illnesses and disabilities. Personally, I was a type 1 diabetic from the time I was a year and a half old until I was 41. I've had 3 organ transplants. I've had stage 3 cancer. I'm blind in one eye, don't see very well out of the other, and a host of other things that are too lengthy to get into. So today I thought I'd talk about, I've received quite a few comments from people telling me about their trikes or they're thinking about getting a trike, and I decided I would give my 5 things to consider when buying a recumbent trike. Hang on, just trying to get this grip a little more comfortable here. So these are in no particular order and they're just my thoughts. I'm not going to say I think you should do this or that. They actually all depend on your riding circumstances and what you plan on doing. So the first one is fenders. When I bought this trike, they asked if I wanted fenders and mud guards. I said no. I couldn't imagine why I would want them. I'd never had a bike since I was a kid, and riding my older sister's hand-me-down that had fenders. So I ordered it without fenders, and because I ride primarily on a trail that is crushed limestone, I would get covered, absolutely covered with dust. Not only me, the entire trike. I'd have to clean it constantly. So within a year, I ordered a set of fenders and mud guards, and they made a huge difference. If you're riding on the roads or on paved trails, may not be as important unless you ride in wet conditions. In that case, the fenders and mud guards will keep the liquid, the rain that's on the street, from splashing up on you. And riding a trike, because you're so low to the ground, you will get a lot of either dust or water or both on you when you ride if you don't have mud guards or fenders. The second thing to consider when buying a recumbent trike is whether or not the trike folds. Now, if you plan on driving somewhere to ride your trike, or sometimes riding places to ride, having a trike that folds up, if you don't have a vehicle large enough to carry one of these in its unfolded form, is really a good idea. Mine folds. I anticipated that I would probably at times be riding with other people, so this folds up. Could put it in the back of most cars and be on our way. If you have a van or a minivan, depending on what trike you purchase, you may or may not be able to fit it inside. So foldability is a consideration. The third thing to consider is the seat height, or rather how close the seat is to the ground. There is a varying degree, and the reason it's important is getting into the seat is usually pretty easy. getting out can be a little tricky. You might need to hold on to something, give yourself a little stability and something to push off of, because if you get one that has a very low seat and you just have to stand up, sometimes it's difficult because your butt can actually be lower down than your knees, and standing strictly using your legs in a situation like that can be very difficult. Consideration number 4 are shock absorbers. Again, this depends on whether or not you want them or should get them. Depends on where you ride. If you ride on really rough terrain, it's a good idea. The thing to keep in mind is shock absorbers will absorb some of the energy you put into the pedaling. And depending on how you have them set, it can rob up to 15, or I've read even 20% of the power that you're putting into pedaling. So it's a trade-off. You may have to sacrifice comfort for efficiency. And finally, consideration number 5. This is really the overarching consideration. What trike do you buy? And the best advice I could give for this is test ride, test ride, test ride. Ride as many makes and models as possible. Give them each a good ride. Try to ride them in different conditions, on pavement, on a trail, an unpaved trail, with the wind blowing, with the wind serving as a tailwind, with it serving as a headwind. As many different circumstances as you can, and ride it for a while. Get used to how each one feels. Of course, if you get on one, start riding it, and it just feels horrible, you know that one's not in the running. And to do this, you're best off going to a dealer who carries, or even better, specializes in recumbent trikes. I am very lucky. I have a dealer nearby that sells nothing but recumbents, 2- and 3-wheel recumbents. Amling Cycle, which is, I believe, the only recumbent only dealer in the Chicago area. But most dealers are more than happy to let you test ride. Right now, I'm shooting this while we're still going through the pandemic. Right now, many, if not most dealers, are on an appointment-only basis. So be sure you call. Don't just drop by. And plan on spending a good couple of hours riding, going back and forth between them, and see what feels good. Well, that's it for this episode of David Rides a Trike. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. If you could, please hit the like button down below. It helps me out a lot. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tick that little notification bell so you'll be alerted when I have a new video out. Doing all that helps my videos be seen by more people. Okay, that's it. Thanks very much. I'll see you on the next ride. Bye-bye.